live! Hi everyone! Welcome to today's Hobbii Happy Hour with me, Louisa, and with the wonderful Matthias.
Woo!
I thought you were going to say your own name, so I was like...
Me!
And there's someone else here as well. Matt. I hope that you are doing very, very, very well. I hope that you had a great start to your day, or that your day's gone well, depending on where you're joining us from, what time it might be for you. I've had a good start to the week, I would say. I am very caffeinated right now, so in case I talk unusually fast, that might be why. And there's also a good chance that there's going to come the inevitable caffeine crash at some point during the stream, so I guess we'll see. I hope you're all doing well. Tara saying, what a fantastic shade of blue. Thank you very much. This little scarf I posted about in the live shopping group, because we are running a little giveaway where I asked everyone to share pictures of their current makes, and this was my current make. This was what I made this weekend. Well, I started last week and then finished it over the course of the weekend and started a new project right after. But thank you very much. It's made from the Pika-Pow cotton, so the Pika-Pow 87 cotton, because I really wanted to try that out, and I really, really like it. Love the color, and it's the usual scarf, so really easy to make. Marianne is asking if there's any way to get rid of the pinned post. Yes, you can. You should just be able to, there should just be an X in the corner that you can just click to make it disappear forever. Also, if you are having the problem that the chat is quite condensed, what helps usually is actually zooming out a little bit. It will make the main video tiny bit smaller, and it will make the overall chat a little bit smaller, but it will give you more comments that you can read. So that's just a little tip if you're on desktop and you can't read the full chat and experience it in all its glory. All right, in case some of you are joining that are completely new, I will quickly explain what live shopping is all about. This little hour of inspiration and fun is focused on a selection of yarns. Today's selection is 12 yarns in total, and we offer you an exclusive discount on those yarns. That is 40% off. The 40% applies on the base price of the yarn, so it replaces the bulk discount. It applies no matter how many skeins you buy. You buy one skein, you use our code, you get 40% off that skein. The code that you want to use in order to get 40% off is HAPPY40. It will be displayed here above me, and you will see it in the chat quite a few times as well. We also have set up a little trigger message. If you type HAPPY40 in the chat, and that's going to work for you guys on Facebook and on Instagram, if you type HAPPY40 in the chat, you will get a link sent to your inbox that'll lead you to our landing page. And on that landing page, we have linked all the yarns in today's selection. We have linked all the patterns we're showing you today. We have linked more patterns than we are showing you today. So in fact, there's going to be even more lovely patterns linked there to inspire you on what you can make with the yarns. And of course, there is going to be a reminder for HAPPY40, so a reminder of the discount code. Dee is saying, Matt, are you there? Show of hands.
Show of hands, okay, well, I'm here.
He's gonna jump in real quick. There's his hand. That is how it works. 40% discount on our selection. The discount cannot be combined with any other code, so you can't combine it, for instance, with yesterday's bingo discount, and it's only valid on our selection. It is valid 24 hours, so almost exactly 24 hours from now you have to shop. I hope that that's so far so clear. If you have any questions, I will of course try to keep an eye on the chat to answer any questions that might arise, especially if you're a first timer, it might be a little bit confusing. Throughout today's stream, we will have 4 giveaways. One lucky winner has already been drawn from everyone who clicked going on this Facebook event ahead of time. Thank you to all of you who did. We will further pick one lucky winner from the chat. That will be done at random, and I will make sure to let you know when it's time to get active in the chat for that. Matt, I think I'm not centered again because I moved to the wrong place. Sorry. we put a little marker on the ground for me so I would know where to stand to be centered on the camera, and I've just accidentally been wandering off to the side, and I thought it was the camera's fault, but no, it was just me moving. Sorry, Matt. In addition to that, one lucky winner will be drawn from everyone who gave a like on this video. And finally, we are going to look at some lovely, lovely makes and whips that you posted in our live shopping group. And we will draw one lucky winner from everyone who participated on the group this week. So that will come later. I look forward to sharing a little bit about what everyone's been making. I also am going to share what I have been making. So I hope that's going to be a fun and inspirational moment for everyone. Without further ado, I would say let's get started with the first few yarns. Let's dive right in because we have a lot of yarns to cover and I have a lot of cool things I want to show you today. Let's get started with Rococo Linen Multi, Rococo Linen, and then we're going to follow that up with our Rainbow Bamboo. These three actually have quite a bit in common. They're all blends of viscose cotton, and in the case of Rococo Linen, also linen. So Rococo Linen is this beautiful yarn in this gorgeous mint color, and we also have Rococo Linen Multi, which is the same yarn just in a multicolored color variety. Rococo Linen Multi are super fine yarns with a recommended hook or needle size of 3mm to 4mm. You get 297 yards on one of these skeins, and they come in these gorgeous, gorgeous, very artsy colors. They're perfect for cute summer makes. Each of these, so both the Rococo Linen and the Rococo Linen Multi, is a blend of 36% viscose, 34% cotton, 30% linen. And if you look at it a little bit closer, you'll see that the viscose really pops out here. The cotton is what makes it really nice and kind of bouncy here. And then you have the linen and viscose kind of wrapped around it almost. And the viscose is what gives it that little bit of shine in some places. And then the linen you can also spot on occasion. So it's a really, really nice blend. One thing that I really like about this yarn, but that's good to know before you get started, is these yarns vary a lot in thickness, and they also kind of vary in softness. So you will get little spots that have more of the linen and are thinner, and those will also feel a little firmer to the touch. And you will get some more bouncy cotton parts that are going to be much thicker. It looks really cool when used up. It's just, if you are someone who's really a fan of a very, very, very even thickness on your yarn, no problem if you are. It's just, this is not the yarn for you. This is more of a little bit of that kind of handmade rustic quality. We do have some cool pics of things that you can make with it. Since the yarn is relatively new, we don't have any patterns for it just yet. So I checked out what some of you uploaded into our user gallery, and here are some cool makes from you. So Paige made this super cute cardigan, for instance. I think it looks absolutely lovely and real summery / all seasons. And then we've got M, who uploaded this very cute little summer top, also a gorgeous make. We also have this gorgeous summer dress by Chang. Two different pictures here to show it in all its glory. And finally, Grace uploaded this beautiful sweater. The last two also show the color changes on the Rococo Linen Multi really nicely. So you get these really cool stripes. The colors are just these gorgeous, very, very, well, Rococo, I suppose, inspired artsy colors. Although, Rococo was, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I always just think of Rococo as an interior design trend more than anything else. So I think of it as like really frilly trims and those kinds of things. And I suppose furniture. So I guess the colors come in there. Could be that I'm completely off base here, but whenever I think Rococo, I think like really cool, like ornate chaiselongs or something. But if you want to make yourself something really artsy, really quirky, then Rococo Linen Multi and Rococo Linen could be the yarn for you. Yvonne is asking if multi and solid can combine on these yarns. And they can-ish. So the colors are similar. So especially with this bright green, for instance, you'll see that it looks almost similar. It is like 90% there, but it's not quite. So you're not going to get absolutely perfect matches between these two, but it is a still really nice, similar-ish look. So I think you could combine them if you don't mind that they're not completely tone and tone. In terms of weight, in terms of length, in terms or yardage, in terms of recommended hook or needle size, they are identical. Yes. You get 40% off on both of them. You get 40% off on, well, both of them, as well as our entire selection if you use our code HAPPY40, which is valid for the next 24 hours. And you can find it on our website now. So that's Rococo Linen and Rococo Linen Multi. And absolutely beautiful colors. I agree. The next yarn in this collection is, as I said, somewhat similar because it too uses cotton and viscose, particularly bamboo viscose in this case, and it is of course our rainbow bamboo. This is a 60% viscose, 40% cotton blend. I do here have the old skeins that used to come in these balls. However, after receiving a lot of feedback from customers about the integrity of these and how well they keep, the shape has actually changed. So you will now receive them in this shape right here that Matt's putting on the screen. They will no longer look like this. The yarn will still look like this. There were some colors that changed slightly when we changed to the new format, but overall the yarn quality stayed the same. It is a 60% viscose, 40% cotton blend. It's a fine yarn weight with a recommended hook or needle size of 3.5 to 4.5. This one is for all of you who love an even thread. So this one, as you can see, is a very nicely spun thread that is even throughout and has, again, that characteristic very, very soft, very nice and slightly, well, shiny surface of the viscose yarn. This is a yarn that is made to drape, so it is perfect for clothing and shawls and everything that you want to have a really, really nice drape to. Cynthia's asking if you could make a baby blanket out of this yarn. You absolutely could. It is also machine washable at up to 40 degrees, so medium temperature, which also makes it fairly easy to take care of. Bamboo is great on, or bamboo viscose I should say, is great on your skin. It feels super, super soft. It feels very, very nice and gentle. You could make even little makeup pads out of this yarn. And it's a really, nice material to have on your skin at all times. I have picked some really cute patterns I would like to show you that you can make with this yarn. The first one is this really lovely intermediate level knit pattern. It is the Olga shirt. Olga, like the woman's name. It's the Olga shirt, which is a knit pattern that you can make in this beautiful yarn for a nice little top. We also have a second, actually, little top pattern, or vest pattern, I suppose. This is the Ebba vest, so another woman's name. It's like a trend today. The Ebba vest, another intermediate level knit pattern that you can make in this beautiful yarn, and it's going to just elevate any outfit that you choose to make with it. Finally, I have picked one more pattern just because I knew that the question about babies is going to come up. We do, for instance, have this really cute little pattern for a baby bandana, or a little bib, I suppose. You could make, like a bib, a little bonnet, a bandana, an entire outfit or romper. You could make anything for a baby out of this yarn. It's going to feel nice on their sensitive skin. It's gonna keep them nice and cozy, and it is easily washed, which I think is always a really, really big plus. So that is our beautiful, beautiful rainbow bamboo. Like I said, I do still have the old skeins. We're gonna have to write a list eventually of the yarns that have been updated, so that we maybe can in the future actually show you what it's gonna look like when you get it. But in case. The color in your hand would be a good one. So these are colors 15 and 28 and 39 that I was holding. So these are the colors I was holding for the yarn. Like I said, there will have been slight changes between the colors, but nothing major between these. Crystal is asking if it's the first yarn. We're on yarn 3 already, Crystal. I'm on fire today. This was Rainbow Bamboo, our last yarn in this first little trifecta, and it is 40% off if you use our code HAPPY40 to treat yourself to a nice little viscose cotton blend yarn. We do have 3 other amazing yarns coming right up, but before we do, I want to announce our first giveaway winner of the, I was going to say night, but then I realized that depending on where you're joining from, it's probably morning for you. Our first giveaway winner of the day, night, evening of the show. That's probably what I should say. Congratulations to our first giveaway winner, picked from everyone who signed up for this event ahead of time. Congratulations to Ruth Dunning. Ruth Dunning, you are our first winner of the night. You will receive a gift card worth $25 or the equivalent in your currency. Please, Ruth Dunning, send us an email to live@hobbii.com in order to redeem your gift card. We will then send it to you ASAP. The same goes for all of our other winners today and in the future. So Ruth Dunning, congratulations, you are winner number 1. Please in your email state where it is that you are shopping from so we can make sure that the gift card works for your local store. So congrats to Ruth, our first winner, and we do have 3 more giveaways coming up, so don't be sad if you are not Ruth Dunning. You, of course, still have 3 chances to win. Well, 2 chances, I suppose. We will pick 1 random winner from everyone who likes this video, and we will pick someone from the chat at the end of the stream. In between, we will have a 3rd giveaway, which has closed because we will pick a winner from everyone who uploaded a current picture of their work in progress into our live shopping group. If you've never heard of our live shopping group, you can actually type GR1 in the chat and you'll get a link sent to you so you can join that group. It's just a cute little live stream community where we talk about the lives. I try to be more and more active in there. I've really tried to commit. My goal would be to post like 3-4 times a week because I've been lurking a lot. So I read what you write, but I just don't really have ideas on what to post. So I really want to get better at that. But just for you to know, that group exists and we really love seeing what you're up to, and so thank you to everyone who posted a picture. We will go through some of them in a little bit and we will pick a lucky winner for a gift card there. Now we're going to move on to our next yarns. The next ones are the acrylic yarns. I've kind of grouped them together. We have our darling Kind Feather for you. In addition to that, we also have Amigo Chunky and we have Sunbird. I specifically wanted to show you Sunbird and Kind Feather together because these 2 are both super soft acrylic yarns and we often get asked for what a good companion yarn to Sunbird is, and I do think that Kind Feather is the best one we have. I'll go more into this in a little bit. I will start with Kind Feather, which is this lovely yarn. Kind Feather is made from 100% acrylic and it is a very nice high quality premium acrylic. It is a very, very, very soft surface, and as you can see, it's very nicely spun. Again, very even, so another yarn where you get a very, very nice even result. If you're not into the slightly more rustic looking yarns. It comes in a lot of different very nice colors. So we have a few of these sort of neutral basic shades. We have a few of these shades that I always kind of think are kind of like jewel tones, these deeper shades of colors, and then we have a few very bright pops of color. So no matter what your project is, you will find the right color of it with Kind Feather. On one skein of Kind Feather, you get 257 yards of yarn. It is a nice light to medium weight. The recommended hooker needle size is a 4 to 5.5 millimeter. So it sits in that really nice kind of space that I really like working in because I'm a sort of 4 millimeter and up kind of gal. So this is definitely a big recommendation from me. Kind Feather is the yarn that when I worked in customer service, we will get a lot of calls from people saying that they really like the idea of merino, but are unable to use it for various reasons and are looking for a great alternative. And to me, Kind Feather was always the yarn I recommended as a non-animal replacement. So it's one big favorite. It's very nice and squishy, very nice and voluminous and soft. You can machine wash this at low to medium temperature. So again, easy to take care of, a great yarn for many different projects. And in fact, I think we have some projects to share with you. Once again, I went and looked at what you have made with this yarn, because I think I can tell you loads of things, but it's much nicer to show you. So here are some ideas on what you can make with Kind Feather, made by you. We start with this project by Faith, who made a little Magikarp, which I thought was super fun. We also have this gorgeous, gorgeous sweater by Anna. I really love the kind of fall color palette that she chose there. There's also this super nice, very colorful top by April. And I like to juxtapose the two because I thought it's really nice to show you that you have this kind of more desaturated kind of fall palette available, but if you want neon, oh, Kind Feather's got neon for you. And finally, here is a gorgeous blanket by Jutta. Another really, really beautiful project showcasing just how beautiful Kind Feather can be. So that was Kind Feather, and like I said, it is the yarn that I quite often recommend as a companion yarn to Sunbird, so I'm going to go straight into Sunbird from here. Sunbird is another high quality premium acrylic yarn, and this one with a color change. So as you can see here, I'm trying to not rip it completely apart because these do like to fall apart. That is one big disclaimer I want to put out there with Sunbird. Do I adore this yarn? Yes. Can it be so miserable to work with this if this starts getting tangled? Yes, because similar to Kind Feather, I would even say this is softer. It has an incredibly beautiful soft surface. Hang on, I'm gonna have to take off my key because I can tell it keeps making a sound on the table, and I think the mic probably catches that. Sorry for that if that was a little like sound disturbance there for you, everyone. So as you can see, it has this super beautiful, very soft surface. Very, again, nicely evenly spun, so you get a really nice even result. And this one comes in blocky colors. So each color just ends and the next one begins. There will be a tiny bit of bleed because of the way these are dyed. It could happen that, for instance, here you might find a little spot of purple somewhere in the yellow. That is pretty normal. It still gives it that little bit of a handmade, hand-dyed feel, but it shouldn't, you know, there is no kind of soft gradient here. It's very much one color, one color, one color. It's also a fixed color change. So you start on the same color, you end on the same color, you've got the same colors in between on each skein. So there's no repeats, no repetition. One skein, one color, and then, you know, all the other colors. That's how it works. It is a gorgeous yarn. It used to be called Butterfly. So if you are an old time viewer and you're thinking, this yarn looks so familiar, didn't it used to be a different yarn? Yes, it used to be called Butterfly. The name got changed. The yarn stayed the same. On a skein of Sunbird, formerly known as Butterfly, you get 546 yards of this gorgeous yarn. It's a lightweight yarn with a recommended hooker needle size of 4 to 5 millimeters, and you can machine wash this at medium temperature. And I said earlier that whenever we get asked, because a lot of times people love this yarn, people love the very deep colors, people love all the gorgeousness of this yarn, understandable, but sometimes you're looking for something solid color to work, maybe a border around a blanket or just to add onto a project. And we don't have a perfect match, but the closest match we do have, in my opinion, in terms of softness and overall look and feel, is Kind Feather. So I'm going to hold them next to each other. So the purple one is the Sunbird, and then the Kind Feather sits next to it. And as you can see, there is a little bit of a difference in the structure. There's also a little bit of a difference in the thickness, although if you put tension on them, they're almost the exact same. So they're not 100% compatible, but they are the closest that we have. And I do think that they would make a very, very, very nice combination. I have also for Sunbird picked some gorgeous projects to show you because I also really love with these yarns to show how the colors look. So first, Cheryl made this incredible shawl that I instantly fell in love with when I saw it on the website. I think the colors are also great because they're perfect, I think, for this season. Like as we're slowly going into fall, I think it just looks stunning. And Dora uploaded this super cute little 6-star blanket, or is it 6-pointed star blanket? what are they called?
Doesn't it have 7?
Does it have 7?
I think it has 7.
7 pointed star blanket.
Sure.
I don't even know where I got 6 from there. But she made this gorgeous blanket. One thing I love there is obviously you can see that as you work further out, you know, one color runs you kind of roughly for one circumference of the star, more or less. Whereas in the center, you get a lot more out of each color. But I think that's just always a really fun effect you get when you're working with these yarns, obviously, you know, as there's more stitches on the circumference. So that was Sunbird, another gorgeous, gorgeous acrylic yarn. Like I said, in my opinion, a great combination yarn to use with Kind Feather if you're looking for a combo there. Both of these, oh yeah, Tiffany, thank you. See, almost forgot. As I said, it can be a pain to work with. I'm speaking from experience here. Due to being so soft, so slippery, so just luxurious and beautiful and gliding around across your hands and needles and skin. Please, 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 do yourself the favor, do me the favor, do wind this yarn into a little cake or a ball before you work with it. Do not work out of this skein. You can see these skeins are relatively new. We got a new batch at some point for the studio, and they start falling apart so quickly. It's usually fine when this happens on the outside, but as you work with it, especially if you work from the inside, it's going to fall in on itself, and it's just going to, over time, like as you work with it, tangle up so badly. You're going to have a like massive pile of yarn barf in front of you, and you're going to be so sad. So do yourself the favor, just hand wind it. You don't need a yarn winder or anything for it, but just make sure you wind it before you start working with it. You're going to thank me afterwards. So that was Sunbird and Kind Feather. Both of these 40% off with our code HAPPY40 for the next 24-ish hours. And the final yarn in this little group is our third acrylic yarn of the night, which is Amigo Chunky. I put this in because I figured these two are kind of in the medium weight, sort of light to medium weight. When I say medium, I always understand that there is a actual yarn category called medium yarns, and then there's what I think of when I say medium. So if I sometimes use the word kind of interchangeably, I apologize for that. I know that that is something else, just because in my head I'm like, yeah, it's kind of a like medium size because it's not super thin, but it's not super thick either. These are technically both lightweight yarns. Karen is asking why there was a name change. I think it had to do with, I don't know actually. It might have been copyright, it might have been that there was another brand, or it could have just been that there was another brand yarn and we didn't want to go down the road of having to fight over it. I don't actually know what the reason was, but it got changed. What is the Danish word for butterfly?
Sommerfugl.
Yeah, so that kind of means summer bird.
Summer bird.
Yeah, so I guess they kind of actually took inspiration from that, I would imagine. So that's why it's called sunbird now. I actually in the very beginning used to call it summer bird, because I thought, oh yeah, easy. They just went with that. And then I was like, no, that's not actually what it's called.
Close enough.
Maybe because there is a chocolate brand in Denmark called Summerbird, right?
I have never heard of that.
I think there is. Can you look that up real quick for me? Well, I show them the next yarn. Yeah, there is. Good.
Oh, it's like a high...
Yeah.
Ah.
I love it. You're like, oh, it's like a high. The advent calendar we get the advent calendar we get every year is from Summerbird.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
We get a chocolate advent calendar.
It's pretty high-end too.
It is a pretty nice advent calendar, not gonna lie, except for when it has a ton of marzipan in it.
Oh yeah, no thank you.
Amigo Chunky. I put this in specifically because those two are more in the lightweight, or I would call them kind of a medium, yarn thickness category. But Amigo Chunky is for all you lovers of a nice chunky yarn. We're going into fall, we're going into winter, so it's gonna, come the time of the very cozy makes of the thicker blankets, of the thicker sweaters. And so I figured putting a thicker yarn in here would be nice for anyone now looking into making something chunky for winter. Amigo Chunky is a acrylic yarn. It's made from a so-called high bulk acrylic. That simply means that in the production process, these acrylic fibers get treated with an extra step that makes them curl in more. So this is essentially they apply heat to them, since, you know, if you have acrylic fiber, heat kind of causes the fibers to relax a little bit, and then they can curl in on themselves more when you then apply heat to them. So makes the whole thing a little bit more voluminous, gives it that bouncy texture. It allows for a lot of air pockets in the yarn, which is great because you want air pockets for a nice feel of insulation, and you just get this really cool, gorgeous yarn. Again, even thread, kind of that ropey texture to it, and a really nice surface. In terms of softness, I would say, honestly, I would rank this below Kind Feather and Butterfly. So Butterfly and Kind Feather have almost a surface and texture that feel a bit like mercerized cotton. Very, very, very soft and very like gliding and with that slight sheen to them. Amigo Chunky does not have that. Amigo Chunky has still a very, very nice touch and feel, just a bit more of your run-of-the-mill acrylic, I would say. Comes in a big color palette. Again, you've got your neutrals there, you've got your darks, your lights, your pops of color, so great for any kind of project you might be looking into making. It is super easy to take care of, machine washable as well, so a very, very durable yarn, versatile yarn, and great for anyone who's looking to make a really chunky project. I have picked, of course, some patterns. This first one is a big favorite of mine. I've shown it on this stream before, but I like bringing it out again. I give you the big carrot, a pattern that truly does what it says on the cover. If someone says I'm making a big carrot, what would you expect them to make? That's right, a big carrot. It's a crochet pattern, it's beginner friendly, and you can find it for free on our website, and of course also linked on our landing page. So if you've typed happy 40 in the chat at any point, you will have gotten a link to that page. It's also linked in the chat, and it is also linked in the video description on YouTube as well for you, because the chat there doesn't work for getting the link sent to you. Tiffany's saying, I love Amigo, but I don't love the chunky. I guess it's different strokes for different folks. This one was specifically put in for the lovers of chunky yarn. In addition to the big carrot, we actually have another pattern that I have here in person, so I'm going to just dive down real quick and grab it for you. Give me 1 second. This is the Soft Squares padded throw. Matt's going to throw it up on the screen, and then I can duck, and then can like do a magic trick. It has disappeared. Has it? Yes, it has. I couldn't see the screen. And here it is. So this is the Soft Squares padded throw, which is this gorgeous, I would call this, if I'm being honest, a floor pillow. That would be my first thought. Or you could also turn this, I think, into a dog bed. I mean, it is just this padded throw, but I don't really think I would cover myself with this. However, I am the kind of person that sits on the floor a lot. I usually, if I watch TV, sit in front of my sofa, and which is especially hilarious when you realize like I'm watching TV by myself. I could have the entire sofa to myself, and instead I decide to sit on the ground in front of it. This would be amazing for that. Be amazing for my bum to not get cold. This is a beginner-friendly crochet pattern. You can of course make this as big or small as you want. So I imagine this has a few different uses. You could turn this into you could just do 4 of these and turn that into a smaller little cushion. You could turn this, like I said, into a dog bed or a cat bed. I just think it's a really cool idea to make these padded squares and then turn them into a larger project. So this is the Soft Squares padded throw pattern. I'll show a little close up. It's made in Amigo Chunky, and it's a beginner-friendly crochet pattern. So pretty basic overall pattern, and then you just fill it to your heart's content, and then it has this cool little border around it. And the third pattern is for you knitters out there. I did not forget about you. This is the Love Games sweater, a really cute little sweater that is an intermediate level knit pattern. It is knitted bottom up in the flat, and you have this super cute checkerboard pattern and this adorable heart detail. I think it's a really, really lovely pattern idea, and kind of like, I guess, Valentine's-y inspired, although I think that is a sweater that you could wear year-round easily. So those are just some ideas on what you can make with Amigo Chunky, what you could whip up with this beautiful, beautiful acrylic yarn. That was the 6th yarn that we have for you tonight. It is 40% off if you use our code HAPPY40 at checkout. It's valid for another 23.5-ish hours. So that was Amigo Chunky. Done. And now we are at the halfway point of the, what is the fill on the squares? For this particular one, they just used the filling that we have on our website. It's a polyester stuffing made for toys, for cushions. If you ever are looking to stuff anything in a project of that size, you will most likely have to buy stuffing, but there's a few things you can do. One, buy secondhand pillows or cushions. So something that you could maybe get quite on the cheap and just rip them open, use the stuffing out of them. You can also, of course, collect clothing, yarn, anything, any textile waste that you might have. I actually have a pretty bag, or used to have a pretty big bag at home with all of my just cut-offs and attempted projects and stuff. I eventually did use that to stuff a little project I made. So you could definitely use that as well. And we do sell stuffing. We sell it, I think the largest bag we have is a 300 gram. So not, I mean, that's quite a big bag, but if you're looking to make a large project, there might actually also be stuffing that you can get elsewhere. It's called filling if you look it up on the website. So we have polyester filling in 2 different sizes there. But I do imagine that you could probably in somewhere else get even larger bags of it. Robin is saying just wash the pillows first. Yeah, I would do that too. But I think that's always a good place to look for if you're looking for low-cost craft materials, especially for something like, oh, I just want to stuff a project. What could I get for that? And then I think, you know, you're still saving something from landfill, even if you're not using it in its originally intended capacity. So that was that little tidbit, or that little tip. And now we're coming to the part that I have been very excited about all day, because I've been preparing for it all day. Get this. Those of you who are already in our live shopping community group on Facebook will have seen that we posted about a giveaway last week. And that's right, Jay and I kind of talked about how we want to incorporate you a little bit more, and we want to just engage a little bit more, I suppose, and honor what you do. And so we asked everyone to post pictures of what they're currently working on. So we asked for whips. We did kind of acknowledge that maybe not everyone is currently working on a project, and therefore we also said stashes are welcome, because, you know, if you're in between projects, we can't expect you to post a whip, but you can still post a picture of your yarn stash. And I'm always just naturally very curious and like to see what people are up to. So I actually posted a picture of my whip, which at the time was this little scarf, which I finished Sunday night. And then wore it for the first time yesterday, and I'm really, really happy with it. It's 100% cotton. It's made from the Pika Pow cotton. I used a little bit over a skein, and yeah, that was my project for last week. That was my commute project, and then a weekend project in front of the TV where I sat on the floor. And it was very, very fun looking through your pictures. I have now selected, well, I say selected, I tried to get everyone's. I think there are a few that I missed, largely because I think some people didn't use the hashtag that we'd asked people to use, which was just hashtag Hobbii Live. That just meant that I couldn't find it because I went through that hashtag to look for the posts, as well as a lot of people replied to the original post, which is fine, but just for future reference, if I look for participants, your post doesn't show up if it's a comment on one of our posts. So we will do this in the future. We will ask you to share what you're making again. You're welcome to post progress pictures of something you've already posted, of course. Just a little PSA. Please just post the picture into the group rather than commenting. That just makes it easier for me to find. So, and Eleanor is saying, I'm working on too many things and my hoard is too big. I am in the exact same boat. I just picked the one that I had in my hand at the time. And now, without further ado, let's take a little look at some of the pictures that you posted. I made a little slideshow, and we're just going to run through it. There are a few lovely, lovely pictures that you uploaded. I do love that there were stashes. So there were a few stashes. Most people posted whips. But a huge thank you to all of you who did. Some people posted multiple projects, some people posted multiples, and I just chose one of the pictures. So because I figured it's just nice to see what everyone's working on. I love that there was there were dresses, there were clothes, there were amigurumis, there were blankets, there were bags. There were people who were in the middle of frogging projects, which I also think that, you know, failures, or not failures, but recognizing that you might need to start over again is a big part of crafting. And so I just really, really loved seeing what everyone has been working on. There were granny squares. There was one granny square project that I think is coming up that I really loved because it's inspired by book covers. I believe it was Stephanie who uploaded it. I think it's coming up later in the slide deck. Because I just thought that's super nice. I loved, some people with the stashes also posted what they're going to make. So I invite all of you, check our little group. If you're not already a member, you can just, oh yeah, that's the one by Stephanie. So these little squares are all inspired by books she's read this year. Isn't that cool?
That's, yeah,
I think that's a really, I mean, also, first of all, that's a lot of squares. Second of all, that's a lot of books. So
impressive.
Some really, really beautiful projects. So thank you to all of you who shared. I know not all of them made it into the slideshow. We will do this giveaway again next week, so I'm already inviting you now. If you're not already a member of our group, please join it if you want. You can type GR1 in the chat. You will get a link sent to you that'll invite you to our Facebook group. You can just click it and then you can join the group. And that way you can, you can join us there. And like I said, we will run this giveaway again next week. I imagine we might keep running it for a few weeks. We might change up at some point what we ask you to upload, but just keep your eyes open in the group. And thank you so much to all of you who participated, and you're very welcome to upload again. Make sure you use the hashtag Hobbii Live, just hashtag Hobbii Live to tag your upload. You can write a little bit, and I already saw people also started commenting, of course, on each other's posts, and just getting really nice conversations going. So it's been really, really fun to see what everyone's been working on. I did think this would be a really fun way to do it kind of old school. I just printed out the names of everyone whose posts I could find. So even if your picture wasn't in the slide deck, do not worry. I did still note down everyone's name. I am now going to just shake this a little bit, and I'm going to draw one lucky winner. I was very inspired to go very, very old school today. And so, eyes closed. And the Oscar goes to Shiloh Hoffman. Oh, yeah, you can't. There you go. Congrats, Shiloh Hoffman. You are today's winner. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for uploading your make and for participating on our little campaign. Is that the right word? Shiloh, please send an email to live@hobbii.com, live@hobbii.com, so that we can send you your gift card worth $25. Congrats, Shiloh, and thank you so much to all of you who participated. Jody says old school is best. I kind of thought it's just a little bit of little show value. Next week I'm gonna like put on a top hat as well and do some, maybe not next week because I think next week Matt is hi, Shiloh's on the chat saying, hey, that's my name. It is indeed. Congratulations. I'm gonna workshop some other ways to do kind of an old school wapow pizzazz little stream little thing here. So that's giveaway number 2 done. Congratulations to Shiloh. We do have 2 more giveaway winners to pick today. So if you haven't already, make sure to give this video a like to hop in the pot for that. And then at the end, we will do a random little giveaway from the chat as well. Congrats to our winners, and let's move on to our next few yarns. The next yarn I have for you is Mohair Delight. It is a blend of 50% acrylic, 50% mohair. A medium weight, in this case the yarn weight is actually medium, medium weight yarn, recommended hook or needle size of 5 millimeters or 6 millimeters. This is a hand wash yarn, especially if you want the mohair to remain fluffy and nice on the surface for a long time. Over time, these fibers, so this is the characteristic kind of mohair fluff that you get, will kind of dull down and felt up a little bit. You can always use a little wool comb or wool brush, maybe switch the color so you can see a little bit better. You can always use a little wool comb or wool brush to fluff it up again and bring it back to its super fluffy glory. These kinds of yarns are great for those of you who love mohair but don't like using an additional thread in their projects to add on mohair, because you still get a nicer, kind of more firmly spun thread rather than having to deal with multiples. And it's a really just, yeah, gloriously fluffy yarn for gorgeous projects. So that is Mohair Delight. And from Mohair Delight, we actually move on straight to another mohair yarn. And this one is a lace weight mohair that you would usually use to add on to another project. This is Diablo Wild Print. And for those of you who've watched for a long time, you will know that this is probably my #1 favorite yarn in the world. In fact, I did say I was going to show my own work and my own whip on the stream, and I will, because I am currently using it. So this is what I'm currently working on. I know I'm known for only doing scarves, and I decided a shawl is surely not the same thing as a scarf, right? Like it's bigger, it's more wraparoundy, it's more, you know, there is a difference. I'm not quite sure exactly what it is actually, but there is a difference. So I am no longer just a scarf girly. I am now I'm going to make a shawl girly. So this is actually made up of the yarn I'm currently talking about and the next yarn I'm going to talk about. That's why I kind of grouped them together. So this is made of a blend of the Diablo Wild Print and Highland wool. This is what it looks like used up together. These are just half double crochets. I am sticking true to my favorite crochet stitch here, and this is super basic. This one is a basic, you just increase every other row, and I will keep doing this. I have one more skein in each of these colors, and I think my plan is just to use this up and then go and use a different one. So this is what I'm currently working on. I started this Sunday night. This has been my kind of TV and then followed by my commute project, and we'll see if I maybe finish it this week. That's the goal. I'm kind of trying to commit to trying to finish a crochet project every other week at least, to sort of get back in the groove of just crafting more regularly, because it calms my brain in such a good way. Matt and I were talking earlier about just being a little bit frazzled and being a little bit anxious. I've had a lot of caffeine today, and nothing calms my brain more than crocheting. And yeah, so this is what I'm currently working on. I will say, so this is I believe it's color 4 of the Diablo Wild Print, and this is color 30 of the Highland wool. So this is color 4. It's called Scarlet Macaw, and I will say that I am not 100% sold on this color combination. I think I imagined it a little bit differently, and that is because I picked the colors when it was quite late, and I picked them in artificial light in my living room. And I had another skein which is color 15 of the Diablo Wild Print, and I think I just kind of assumed that they were the same color, so I held these next to each other and went, oh yeah, this bright orange and that orange go really well together. Perfect. Oh, look at that. I have a skein that I've started already in the same color. I'm going to combine it, and then later realize that it was in fact not the same color. So basically, I think I'm going to continue with this, but I figured I could still put it to you. On Facebook, you should now see a little poll. And just let me know, what is your thought on this particular color combination? I don't know. Do you see where I'm coming from with this? I think it's the green that bothers me, honestly. I think it's the combination with the green that just doesn't look exactly how I imagined. I think from further away, it kind of maybe gets away with it. But you could let me know. Let me know what you think if you want by voting in the little poll. I'm now going to just quickly tell you a little bit more about Diablo Wild Print. So Diablo Wild Print is a lace weight yarn. So as you can see, one thread of it is super, super thin. And it is a mohair blend. This is 40% acrylic, 30% polyamide, and 30% mohair. So it also has that fluffy mohair halo. This is 225 meters on one skein, or 245 yards. It is super lightweight and it runs for a really, really long time. So if you're using this in addition to another yarn like I am, this is going to run out well before this does, I think, because it's just so thin and has so much longevity to it. It's just long. It comes in a bunch of different really cool colors, and it allows you to really experiment with color. You can combine it with a solid colored yarn, you can combine it with a colored yarn. You can combine multiple strands of this with other mohair yarns. You could, for instance, also combine it like so. That could also look really nicely. This is Mohair Delight, so if you want extra fluffiness and some cool colors. It's a really lovely yarn to spice up your makes, and it's been a big, big favorite of mine for a long time. I have mostly used it in combination with wool yarns, so that is where I'm sort of what I'm mostly seeing, yeah, it is one of my big, big faves. So that was Diablo Wild Print, and we're moving straight into the other yarn I was working with, which is Highland Wool, which is a yarn that I had tried once before but never really made any big projects on, and I'm really, really... There goes my crochet hook. Whoop. And I'm really, really impressed with how much I've enjoyed working with it this time. And Highland Wool is a yarn made from 100% Peruvian Highland wool. So again, I like a yarn that does what it says on the label. It's a lightweight yarn. You get 190 yards on one of these skeins, and it is a really nice woolly yarn. Oh, Maria is saying the poll is not showing up. Okay, but thank you for those of you who maybe did see it and did vote. Sorry, we seem to have some problems with the polls. We'll look into it, but thank you for all of your your feedback. Angie is saying, I'm trying to find some of the whips you showed, but I cannot find them on the group page. Are you in the Hobbii live shopping community page, or are you on the regular Hobbii Hobbii group? So the group should be called the Hobbii Live Shopping Community. If you type GR1 in the chat, you'll get a link sent to you that takes you to the group. And I would say, when I checked today, the top 2 posts were whips. People did tag their makes with hashtag Hobbii Live. So if you search for the hashtag in the group, you will find all the posts that people made. And Kristen is saying, I answered, but I did not see the results. And it came up twice for Marianne. There seems to be something wrong with the polls. So thank you for your feedback. I love someone said, like, it's very fall-like, and it gives that kind of tweedy look without working with a tweed yarn. That's exactly what I love it for. For me, it's the colors that I'm a little bit... Could have gone better, but I'm going to press on. And worst case scenario, I'm going to find someone else who really enjoys it. Highland Wool. Like I said, 100% wool yarn. For those of you who are super sensitive, this is, I would say, one of the less scratchy 100% wool yarns that you're going to find out there that's not merino. It is a really nice and warm yarn, despite not being super, super thick. The recommended hook or needle size is a 4 to 5 millimeter, so it's another lightweight yarn. We do recommend that you use wool detergent when washing this and hand wash it to preserve its beauty for as long as possible. Similarly with the Diablo Wild Print, we also recommend that you hand wash that yarn to preserve its fluffiness and beauty. So this is Highland Wool, our 9th yarn of the night, and we do have some gorgeous, gorgeous patterns for this yarn. First, we have this gorgeous knit pattern. This is the La Spiga hat pattern. And once again, you can remove the picture in a second. Because you know what's better than a picture on the website is just wearing the hat IRL. I will say I have to take this off straight away because the studio is warm today. But this is what the La Sfiga hat looks like in real life. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous double-sided hat. So you can flip it inside out and have this gorgeous version of it. But that, of course, means, you know, you have 2 layers of wool here, 2 layers of 100% wool, with air in between, with air within the wool. It is going to get so warm underneath this very fast, but a gorgeous make nonetheless. It's a knit for proficient knitters, as is this next one. This is the Back to Sleep blanket, which I just think is so adorable. This is a intermediate knit pattern with a cute little sheep design, which I just think is great. So that is the Back to Sleep blanket made in Highland wool. And with that, it has almost become time for our last little triptychon of yarns. We are going to first take a sip of water. What am I going to grab? This basket. So we are going to now talk about our last 3 yarns of the night, which are tessuto. These are so heavy. I kind of forget how heavy they are until I have to lift them. And we've got panettone. And finally, we've got toucan fine. These are the last 3 yarns of the night. And before we talk about them in detail, I'm going to announce our 3rd giveaway winner. This person was drawn from everyone who gave a like on our video on Facebook. Thank you for all your likes, and congrats to our 3rd winner of the night, Breda Ray Johns. Breda Ray Johns, congratulations, you are the 3rd winner today. You will receive a gift card worth $25 if you send us an email to live@hobbii.com. Please send us an email, Breda Ray Johns, to live@hobbii.com. Do include which country it is that you are shopping from so we can make sure that the card is made out for the correct store. And congratulations, we will have one final winner at the end of the show after I talk to you about tessuto. So tessuto is relatively new. It's now been a while since we've added it to the catalog, and it is a t-shirt yarn. That means it is made out of leftover textile production fibers. It is essentially made, you know, the fabric that t-shirts are made from. When the t-shirts that have been ordered are done, you have fabric left over. Why not turn it into yarn? So this is a cotton blend fabric. It's 90% cotton, and then 5% polyester and 5% could be other fibers, because of course every t-shirt is made differently. So whatever leftover production fabric you have, you're going to use that. So it is essentially just a little ribbon like cut. So you just cut the t-shirt fabric and then you kind of put it together and then press it really, really tightly so you get this kind of thread. You can make these yarns yourself at home, by the way. So this is actually another fun way to upcycle products. If you have a bunch of old t-shirts that you don't really use anymore, but you don't want to throw away, you can literally just upcycle them into yarn, no problem. Again, if you find some thrifted t-shirts, you could do the same. Or you could just get yourself a ready-made one. Tessuto runs for a little over 140 yards. It is quite heavy, so this is this weighs a pound. So quite a chunky yarn. We recommend that you use anywhere from a 10 to 12 millimeter needle or hook. And this yarn is great for projects like mats or baskets or bags and other fun projects that you can think of. We do have some examples from our user gallery. So for instance, Monica used it to make this really cool little gift wrapping for a wine bottle and a little coaster, which I think is a super nice way to use the yarn. And Alice made this super cute bag, which is made out of granny squares. So it's just 3 big granny squares that are then sewn together to make this bag. 2 really lovely examples of what you can make with tessutos. I can see Sandy saying, I love this yarn for bags and baskets as well. One thing that's good to know about tessuto is it's a little bit of a surprise what color you're going to get, because as fabric runs out in the middle of production, or you can only make limited amounts of a certain color with what you have, and we cannot really guarantee that it doesn't make sense to categorize it by specific fixed colors. So what the manufacturer does instead is it's grouped together by shades. So you could order red and you could receive this, but you could also receive a burgundy color, or you could receive a different shade of red. You could receive anything that kind of falls in the wider range of red. You could receive an orange, in fact. There is also orange shades, yellow shades. There's yellow shades, pink shades. So just know that when you order this yarn, if you order 3 skeins, you are likely to receive maybe 3 of the same, maybe 3 completely different ones, and they will not have a specific color name associated with them. So that's just good to know. It's a little bit of an adventure, same way as it would be if you were making your own t-shirt yarn. So that's tessuto, which is 40% off with our code HAPPY40. Someone says it's a weird name for a yarn. Does it mean t-shirt in Danish? It does not, but I just always assumed that it's something Italian. I actually didn't look into it. I just assumed that tessuto, I assumed it was an Italian word for some reason. Probably because our product manager for a long time was Italian, so quite a few yarns have Italian names, so I just always thought maybe that's why. Who knows? We have 2 more yarns. The second to last one being Toucan Fine. Toucan Fine is a chenille yarn. It's a 100% polyester yarn. It is a, medium weight yarn, but it is a finer version of Toucan, which is my personal favorite chenille yarn that we offer. As you can see, you get a significantly thinner yarn than a regular chenille yarn would be. This has a recommended hooker needle size of 5 to 6 millimeters. I would say that I would probably downsize this if you were making amigurumi. I would probably go as low as maybe even a 4, 3.5 even, just to make sure that it gets really nice and tight, so that if you want to make a little stuffed guy, the stuffing doesn't come out. You get 196 yards on one of these skeins and get a very nice color palette that covers all your amigurumi needs. Cynthia is saying it is Italian for fabric. Lexi is also saying it's Italian for fabric. Thank you very much. I'm glad that I got it right with the guess that it was something Italian and fabric. That makes a lot of sense since it is made out of fabric, in fact. Toucan Fine is great also if you want to work something with toucan and add on some more intricate details. Let's say you're making an amigurumi and you want the hands to be a little less bulky and a little bit slimmer. Toucan Fine is a great option there. Or of course, just if you want to make any amigurumi just a little bit smaller. Do we have any pictures to share, Matt? Or do we have any patterns to share?
I do believe we have some pictures actually, yeah.
We do indeed have some beautiful pictures that you out there uploaded. So first, Ghidra uploaded this Bluey plushie, which I thought was really cute. And Noelle used it to actually knit herself this cute little set, which I thought was just a great idea to show that with chenille yarn, so often you do kind of automatically think amigurumi, but there's more to it, and you could make yourself a cute little set to lounge at home as well. So that was Toucan Fine, which is 40% off if you use our code HAPPY40. It's machine washable at low to medium temperature, so easy to take care of. It's 100% polyester, super, super fluffy chenille yarn with that classic velvety texture for all your makes. And finally, the last yarn of the night is Panettone. Panettone is a very, I think we first introduced it around Christmas time, which is why I always think of it as a very seasonal yarn, but the color palette really isn't, because the color palette is made for year-round. This is a really interesting yarn. It's made out of a tube. It's a blend of 87% cotton, 7% polyamide, and 6% metallic fiber. I mean, you can see the metallic fiber very clearly there. And it is this tube that is always two-toned. So you have one side and another. And here, for instance, one side is metallic glitter and one side is just regular. In other parts, it's just two colors. So you always get these two-toned stretches with some bits of glitter in between. It is a very even yarn because you have the tube that kind of, again, keeps a really nice, even structure the whole time. This also means that if you're like me, someone who crochets very tightly, you may want to size up your hook and you may want to just really be mindful of your texture there, just because was it not working?
No, I just noticed that someone said that they weren't getting a code, and I was like, huh, well, there we go.
One of these weeks, Matt. One of these weeks, everything is going to go exactly as it is. I'm so sorry to everyone who's been commenting Happy 40 the whole time and hasn't been getting any messages, or especially if you've been typing GR1 to get the link for the group. It turns out that there was something not quite working with the setup. Please type it one more time. It should work now. If you type GR1 now in the chat or Happy 40, you will get the link to either the landing page or to our Facebook group. I apologize for the inconvenience. I'm very, very sorry. Panettone runs for 130 yards, so a nice lightweight yarn, 4.5 to 5.5 millimeter hook or needle recommendation. And like I said, if you're like me and you're like working really tightly, do size it up, just to make your life a little bit easier, because I struggled with these kind of tube yarns for a really long time. Matt is showing you the full color palette here. And like I said, while it was initially introduced, I think in sort of heading towards Christmas time, the palette overall has everything from very subtle and nuanced shades to very spring pastel shades to very bright colors, and of course some very much Christmas appropriate colors as well. We do have some cute patterns that you can make with this yarn on our page. So for instance, this is the Happy cardigan, which is a knitted cardigan, where you can also see a little bit how it looks with that glitter and the colors that it kind of creates, or the little splotches, I would say. It's not quite stripes, it's more of a print kind of style color change. So this is the Happy cardigan, which is a beginner-friendly knit pattern that you can find for free on our website. And just for a bit of variety, here's another cute project, which is the Ocean Burst tote bag, which is an intermediate level crochet pattern that you could make with this yarn. Also really nice how on these little granny squares, it shows again how the pattern with the colors looks.
And yeah, the codes aren't being sent because they always don't. They always send afterwards as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, it takes a little bit of a time for the message to arrive. It'll be a message sent to your inbox. If you have very strict privacy settings on your inbox, then you may not receive the message. You can also just look up the group on Facebook. It is called the Hobbii Live Shopping Community. You could find it there as well. And with that, that was our final yarn of the night, which was Panettone, which is 40% off if you use our code HAPPY40, and can be used for many different projects, from clothing to accessories. And with that, we've reached our final giveaway, which will start now. In order to participate, if you are on YouTube and Facebook, please now type #giveaway in the chat. #giveaway in the chat, just the way it is written above me right there, for a chance to win our final gift card worth $25. So #giveaway in the chat for a chance to win a $25 or equivalent in your currency gift card. I think you were holding color 14, the bright turquoise, but that particular color isn't available.
Oh yeah, it isn't.
Oh yeah, that seems to be a discontinued color. I apologize. Like I said, we do need to at some point kind of go through our yarn stash and update it a little bit, because that happens on occasion, that we still have colors here that are no longer with us, and also more and more new colors are coming out for some of the yarns, and it would also be nice to show those. You've still got 45 seconds to type #giveaway in the chat now for a chance to win a gift card worth $25 or equivalent in your currency.
Hold up, they're
asking for the giveaway song. We're going to play the giveaway song.
1, 2, 3, and...
It's a giveaway. It's a giveaway. It's a giveaway time, it's a giveaway time, it's a giveaway.
I don't know how long the song goes.
There.
Oh, sorry. Fun fact, I can't hear anything because Matt is just playing it for you, so I'm just standing here vibing to nothing. I mean, I do know what the giveaway sounds like, it's just, you know, you don't quite hear it. Jonathan is saying, like, I'm a big fan of turquoise, so I immediately noticed that it was not the one. Cynthia is saying, do we post a list of the winners? No, we announce them on the stream, and ideally they're watching, because that's the whole point of watching the stream. Well, not of watching the stream, but of announcing the giveaway winners. And our final winner of the night is Kristen Enyard. Kristen Enyard, congratulations, you are the final winner of the night. You will receive a gift card worth $25 or equivalent in your currency. Please, Kristen, send us an email to live@hobbii.com to redeem your gift card, and please indicate where it is that you're shopping from so we can make sure that you can actually use your gift card. So with that, everyone, it is a huge thank you to you for coming to today's Hobbii Happy Hour, for hanging out with me and Matt. If you would like to hang out with Matthias, you can do so on Thursday, where he is hosting Quiz Time, which is our little trivia show here on Facebook and YouTube as well. You can type quiz 1 in the chat, I believe, for a link to the next episode, and you can join him there on Thursday. I will be back next week with another live shopping episode. Next week I'll be solo. It'll be without Matt, because Matt is going on a nice little break.
You going solo dolo?
I am going solo all the way. And I will happily, once again, feature pictures of your makes and whips. So please, if you are not already a member of our live shopping group, feel free to join, and feel free to post your makes or your whips, or a stash if you're in between, or something you've just finished if you're in between projects, for a chance to win a gift card in next week's live show. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. I hope you have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. Take care. See you very soon. Bye!